Howdy all, welcome back to Lives. I think it's time we play a little Minecraft. Alright. So, kind of trouble we're gonna get in today. You know, I really want to start hunting for the end, but I've only got like one. I've got one ender pearl. I don't think that's quite gonna cut it. One ender pearl is not enough. I guess I could maybe do some hunting though, right? Do I have some blocks on me? I do, but not quite the right kind. Let me unload these. Oh, you know what? I got dirt. Dirt will work. Dirt. I was thinking cobblestone, but, you know, dirt's fine too. I'm going to head out to the desert and see if we can't hunt some wee little endermen. I mean, obviously I need to get together some more supplies than what I've got, since I no longer have diamond armor, but I wouldn't mind at least finding the end. I'd like to get access to some of the building blocks that you find in the end that I currently don't have access to. I need to get some chorus fruit. I need to get I can't even remember. Do you make those light rods with chorus fruit and endstone? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember. Hey, bunny. There's my waterfall I made a long time ago. Oh, good. It is starting to get dark here. Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I don't know if that was helpful. Yeah, let's go ahead and put that one there too. I might need something. What is that? Is that just a cactus? It looks like it's moving. I don't know. It doesn't look like a cactus. What am I seeing over here? Oh, you know what that is? That's obsidian. From when I was out here trying to figure out how to get home. Trying to get my my portals to link up. Because, you know, right over the hill there is my base, and I didn't need portals over here. Portals, man, they're tricky. So we did get in a session of D&D today with the family, and we're pretty good. Well, it went all right. I guess it went all right. They just way too much side talking and a pouting session at one point from an adult. I I need Endermen, not zombies or spiders. Thanks. I definitely don't need any skeletons. That's why I've got these posts. So I can hide behind the posts. Oh, definitely no witches. So we've been, oh, I forgot about the wraths. I can't hit that witch. Too bad of a name. Oh. No. Look out, that little guy's... Now I'll let the big zombie hit me, because I'm so worried about the little zombie. Nope. Really? No Enderman anywhere. Is there like a trick you can do with cactus as well, right? Oh, those are a couple of wraiths. I almost call them wraths. I don't remember what these guys do. There's the Enderman I need. Hey, you guys want to come be angry at me? Oh man, now there's a dang creeper at my base. I needed that, man. I don't know what happened to my Enderman either. I thought he was angry at me. And he just left me. Will those guys do something like... Aha! Blew you up. Ugh. Maybe I can put down a torch? Keep stuff away from my actual base. Oh, where did my Enderman go? Dang it. I needed those guys. You are not the things I need. I can use some XP though, so this isn't a total waste. Anyways, let's talk about our session. So, we've been working our way out of a hobgoblin fortress for the last couple weeks here. And they... Dang it. They, last week ended having just rescued... Yeah, there we go. Should have thought that through. I didn't think this through. Okay. I'm fine though, I'm fine. It's not too bad. And so they ended last session having... Can this make him angry? Spider? Nobody needs your business. I I need that Enderman. There we go. Having... I need that. Having just witnessed the sensei for our monk being tortured for information. Just a little torture, nothing too serious. And so along with other members of the monastery from which the monk came from, since he's the only one to give me a backstory, so they rescued them, and then we ended the session. And so this week they got to question him and heal him and stuff like that. And so he told, because they totally missed the line where the guy is demanding the monk tell them where the artifact is, I had to reiterate that there was an artifact. Oh man, so many creepers. I don't want creepers, I want Enderman. Wow, that guy's multiple arrows to the head. He don't care. Enderman. Yeah, you. Come on, face me. And so my nephew plays the monk, and so I thought, well, this will be funny. And so I had his parents leave the room because the sensei didn't want outsiders to know about the artifact or where it's hidden. Now I realized he was going to tell them about the artifact once they actually got their hands on it, but I thought maybe he would decide not to tell them where exactly it was at, and would instead keep that to himself. And so we go on, and there's some arguing over what's going on, and they get outside of the fort. Now they only cleared 1 of 3 floors, and they were taken captive when they were brought here, so the things outside are still out there. And so one of them was like, I want to look out the door before we go outside and see what's out there. And so they already killed the gate guards, and so when they rolled really good on their perception, and I rolled really low on whether or not there was a patrol there. Now there was going to be a patrol there no matter what. I just didn't know how close it was going to be, and so it was a good distance. And so they snuck out, and I'm like, okay, so now what are you doing? And they're like, well, I'm like, that patrol is getting closer. And like, okay, we'll head around the side of the castle. I'm like, all right, roll for some stealth. And so they all rolled pretty good, and so they made it around the side of the castle. And I'm like, okay, so what you're looking at is you've got the castles in the middle of like a box canyon, and so you're looking at about a 25 foot high wall of cliff face. I only got two pearls from that. Not as good as I was hoping. And so you're gonna have to you're gonna have to figure out where you're going. And my sister says, well, we're gonna move. And I'm like, okay, where are you gonna move to? And she's like, well, we want to get out of here. I'm like, yeah, I get that, but where are you gonna go? Well, where can we go? I'm like, well, there's the road. Let's take that. I'm like, well, that's where the patrol that you just tried to hide from is coming from. She's like, well, where else can we go? I'm like, well, you're looking at 25 foot cliff faces the other ways. And she's like, well, I guess we got no choice. I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, well, what are you gonna do then? And she's like, well, we're gonna move. And I'm like, where are you gonna move to? And she's like, we're gonna move away from the patrol. I'm like, okay, so you're gonna move over to the 25-foot cliff face. She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, and where are you gonna go once you get there? And she's like, well, we gotta hide. And I'm like, well, I can't really see you from where you're at, so you're kind of hidden already. Um, and but you do want to get up this cliff or back down the road before they can raise an alarm. And she's like, well, I already said I wanted to move. What more do you want from me? I'm like, how are you going to move? Because you're in the middle of a box canyon with 25-foot high cliffs. You can't just say, I'm going to move up the cliff. You got to tell me how you're going to move up the cliff. And she's like, well, I don't know how to move up the cliff. I'm like, well, the group needs to think about how they want to get up the cliff. And so she stopped talking at that point. She was so mad that I wouldn't just let her move up the cliff that she just stopped talking. And I'm like, you can't just move. You can't just say you're like, fine, if you're out in the open and you're just going, I'm going to move over there. That's fine. That's fine to walk down the road. I'm going to move from point A to point B. That's fine. But if in between point A and point B is a 25-foot cliff, I need to know if you're going to try to free climb it, if you're going to use ropes, if you're going to use a spell. You can't just move up it. And so one of the other ones is like, well, I got a grappling hook. I'm going to throw my grappling hook up there. And I wasn't going to do anything weird with it. And he's like, wait. I'm going to attach my rope to the grappling hook first. I'm like... Dude, I wasn't gonna have you just throw your grappling hook up on top, and so everybody laughed except my sister, who's now throwing a tantrum because I made her explain how she was gonna move. Oh, you know what? I have arrows. I was gonna get another stack of arrows, and so they managed to get the hook up on top of the cliff. They make it up the cliff before the Goblin Patrol gets back. Oh yeah, I forgot I made this horse pen back here. I moved my horses away from my my cows and stuff because I wanted to get more. I think I killed all my sheep too. I wanted to raise more cows. I totally forgot that I'd done that. So they get up the cliff and they get everybody up the cliff before the patrol makes it back and realizes something's wrong. It was a long way down the road, so. I wasn't too surprised it was taking that long for the patrol to get there, and so then they go camping and stuff because it's a couple of days to the monastery, and they get to the monastery, and I draw out a little map of not the monastery but the area around the monastery, so just basic shapes. Nothing detailed, and I'm like, okay, so you guys are overlooking the monastery. It's down in a little valley. To the west is an overlook that looks down on the oh man, I forgot the name of the place. Dindarian? I think it's Dindarian. There's a sheep still in here. It's supposed to be sheep in here. You look down on the Dindarian plains. It might be Dalendroth, actually, now that I think about it. I said Dindarian, but it's actually Dalendroth. They look down on the Dalendroth plains. I'm like, this is the first time... all of them but one have ever seen the Dalendroth plains, and they look like an open plains, but it's all brown and withered, and you can see that you're right on the edge of where the plains flow into and switch over to a large desert to the north, and which is important. And so the desert's not important. Just what I was doing was, all right, I'm gonna make a new bow, I think, here, and then I am going to enchant the bow. So 3 of those. 3 of those. And so they I'm like, and you can see there are still a few goblins and whatnot moving around down in the monastery. And so they're like, well, we need to go down the monastery. I'm like, all right. So you're currently hidden by boulders and trees as you come down this part of the mountain. But once you get closer to the monastery, you can see that they've cleared it out, and it's just fields between you and the monastery, except for one river that comes out of the mountain and flows past the monastery, right past the monastery. And so they're like, well, what do we do? What do we do? And so, oh man, I have got to go get one more level worth of XP. I've got no choice. Where would I get one more level of XP? I need things to kill. I don't think killing cows will do it for me. I don't... How many... 3, 4... I got 4 calves. No. No. I don't want to start completely over, so I'm not going to kill the rest of my calves. Dang it, I am so close to a power 3 bow. I need it. What if I... Anyway, so, oh, you know what? Nope, there is a chest for wool. Oh, what about squid? Maybe I can find some squid. Squid. So, so now at this point, my nephew has almost totally forgotten what he was told back at the beginning of the session. Now, it sounds like we haven't played a lot, but we've actually been playing for over an hour at this point due to all of the interruptions of gotta go get snacks, gotta go to the bathroom, gotta have conversations that have nothing to do with what we're doing. You know, I'm not really sympathetic because we could get so much more done if they would just sit there and pay attention. It's all of them. It's all of them. You know, I sit down, you know, I do my business ahead of time. I sit down to run the game. I'm down until the game's over. That's it. We got one of them looking up stuff on her phone. One of them brought a book. I don't know what the point of that was. Oh, I was hoping there'd be like some coal here, maybe. I could do a little mining to get some... Can you get XP from... Yeah, I don't think I'm getting XP from that. And, so, it just takes forever. But, yeah, so they... like I said, at this point, my nephew has completely forgotten what he was talking about, or what he was told. And so he's like, okay, we gotta go forward and to the left. And I'm like, okay, that's an alright tactic, actually, because the river goes forward and to the left. And so at first I think that's what he's talking about. That's not what he's talking about. He wants to cut directly through the middle of the open fields until they get to the river, which goes through the fields straight and to the left. And And so I'm like, okay, so you're gonna march into the open field, and then hang a left once you get to the river, which is next to the wall of the keep. And he's like, yes. And then everybody else is like, no, 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 no. And I'm like, no, that's fine if that's what you're doing, but make up your minds, because they're not gonna let the kid lead them. Obviously, he doesn't make the best decisions. So after much arguing over what they mean by straight and to the left, and then they're like, well, we want to do it stealthily. I'm like, okay, you're going to have to explain to me how you stealthily crawl across an open field of beans and wheat and whatever, I don't know, to get to... Because this is early summer when this is happening. Early summer. And so it's not like the crops are super tall at this point. And they know it's early summer. It's not a shock. We have a calendar. And so and I update them often on what day it is when there's holidays and whatnot that we have for our world. And so they're like, well, and then my nephew says, we're going to get down low and crawl. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, it'll work. We'll get down low and crawl. And I'm like, okay, I want you to imagine you're standing outside right now. He's like, okay. And I'm like, so you're standing outside, and you're standing on the porch. Your dad goes out into the grass and lays down on the ground and tries to crawl towards you. Is that stealthy? He's like, well, he's down low. I'm like, are you going to tell me you wouldn't notice your dad crawling across the lawn towards you? I mean, he might not. There's no joke that their passive perception is about a 2. Yeah. Eventually, I don't know why they could not think today, but eventually I got them to realize through small hints that maybe if they went along the riverbank, they could, hide along the edge of the riverbank to get there. So they rolled their stealth. I rolled my perception. All of them but one beat the stealth, so I let them have it. Nobody got a 1 or something to make it really terrible. Not that the 1 makes it terrible. Well, a 1 does make it terrible, but it depends on who gets the 1. If our thief gets a 1 on a stealth roll, it's still a 12. And that's only because she's not higher level. Because when she gets higher level, then I think a 1 equals a 21 at that point, or probably even higher than that, like a 24 for her at that point. Like a rogue is just invisible at high levels. And so they oh yeah, I forgot. I totally forgot. I should go enchant my sword too. I was thinking that I just used up those 19 levels of XP, but that's not how XP works in enchanting anymore. So they eventually make it into the place. They fight some. They do totally screw up their stealth trying to sneak into the monastery. And at this point, trying to go into the monastery, my nephew is pretty sure that what he heard at this point, that and this is what he says, that the artifact that they're trying to find is in the central courtyard, which is correct. And then they go in the central courtyard. They, what did I get on this? Some sharpness 1 and unbreaking. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. And so they go in the central courtyard. They start fighting. Oh man. They start fighting the goblins who are smashing statues in the courtyard looking for the artifact. They they finish, and so killing the bad guys. And then the nephew is like, okay, so this is what he said. The artifact is 5 forward, 3 to the left. That is not what I told him. I told him that it was 5 rows up, 3 rows over. That's all I told him. And as in regards to where the artifact is hidden. So now he has told him it's 5 rows forward, 3 rows to the left. I was surprised he got the numbers right. So then it gets a little weird because instead of picking from the front of the building, they picked from the back of the building as their starting point, and so they totally went the wrong spot. I marked it on the map where it was at in a way that I knew where it was at, and yeah, they looked for it, and it wasn't there. And so they went to the other side. Still the back of the courtyard, not the front of the courtyard. Didn't find it. So then they figured out where the exact center of the map was, and because this was drawn out at this point because it was a battle map. And so they went to the exact center of the battle mat, and and then they started counting 5 forward, 3 over to the left from that. And so after they checked that and it didn't work, I'm like, look, you guys just dig. You guys just dig dozens of stones up trying to figure out where this artifact is buried. And I'm like, are you sure you can't remember what that guy said? He's like, yeah, he said in the middle of the courtyard. And I'm like, are you sure he didn't say the middle courtyard? Oh, right. The middle courtyard. and so they started looking then, and oh, I think I got 1 extra cow in here. Yeah, I do. 1 extra cow. Oh. Sorry, guys. It was an accident. I forget about that slash. I just wanted to get my cows evened up. I hate when there's an odd number cow. And so eventually they finally... It didn't take them long. I didn't let them go long. It's not like I was sitting there just... Yeah, I keep picking the wrong one. No, they just... it took them a bit, for sure, to figure it out. I don't know. Should probably maybe do up some glass or something. So that I can get appropriate numbers in here. I don't know. I don't even know what to do with that. Let's get some sand in here and I can get some glass going. That says sandstone. Actually, I have sand. Or, no kidding. I have glass. Glass is right here. There. That way things will go where I want them. So then they finally get the artifact, and I described the artifact to them, and they decide it's a flute. I'm not sure why they've decided it's a flute. They don't know, but it's the first part of a staff, and it actually goes on the. It's like an end cap for a staff with 3 slots for magic gems. which I created on the fly as we were doing this. Um, and in fact, I knew it was going to slide over a weapon of some kind before we got to it, but then when I drew it so they could see what it looked like, I totally am like, oh, look, there's slots for gems on this thing. All right. And so they they get the artifact and then they argue over what to do with it. And I'm like, okay, you remember what the guy told you? He's like, I don't remember. I'm like, we need to find him. And I'm thinking, you're never gonna find them. They're gone. They've gone into hiding after being attacked, and they've got people to try and keep safe and stuff. They're never coming back. And I'm like, remember he told you? He said you must. Right. I must tell him about the artifact. I'm like, no, you must keep. I have to keep the bad guy away from the artifact. You have to keep it safe. You have to keep it safe, is what he told you. You have to keep it safe. You particularly have to keep it safe, because he doesn't want anyone else to have it. I don't know why we whispered, because you can't remember anything that I whispered to you by the time we need to use it. That went a little farther off the rails than I was expecting. I thought he'd forget the 5 and 3, but no, man, he forgot everything. It's crazy. All right, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here then. And I don't feel like I really accomplished much today, but I guess I did get my sword enchanted and a new nice power 3 enchanted bow and a couple of ender pearls. Gets me a step closer to maybe figuring out where the end is at. So, all right, with that, click like if you like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one, and I will talk to you later.